Hello, fellow adventurers. I'm your resident archer Gaz from Steamforged Games, and I'm going on a quest, but I am not alone. I'm with my fellow adventurers.
I'm Lenny, and today I am a wizard.
I'm ModSpear. Today I am a knight and I'm hitting things. Pretty much what I do in the actual game, so it's pretty ideal.
And I'm Jamie, and I'm playing as the Skiller.
So Jamie, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. So today we're going to be playing through the first campaign of RuneScape Kingdoms Shadow of Elvarg, which is Vampire Slayer. So we've jumped a little bit into the middle of the game in some respects because we've gone past Tutorial Island already. All of our characters have got a little bit of the beginning levels and starting equipment, and we're already on the game board. So we're jumping straight into this campaign. So the steps that we want to go through are out on this campaign board here. It tells us from top to bottom the objective you want to achieve. So speak to Morgan, speak to Dr. Harlow, etc. And then eventually we're going to progress through to encounter with Count Draenor himself. There's going to be lots of other stuff that happens along the way. Now, I know that ModSpear and Mod Lenny haven't had much contact with this game, so there's going to be lots of questions as we play through, and that's going to be entirely fine. So I'm also going to take the first turn to give an example of how certain things work.
Okay.
And then we're just going to jump straight into it. So to show an example, I'm going to take my Skiller miniature and I'm going to move from Edgeville over to Ice Mountain. Now, moving is the main part of what you do during your turn. Once you've moved to a new region, or you can stay in the same region as you are if you want to, you can then either interact with a quest if you have one, or you can explore the region. Now, I haven't got any active quests where I am right now, and I'm not in a position to do anything with the campaign board because speaking to Morgan happens in Draenor Village. Okay. So instead, I'm just going to explore the region. So these, you notice the banners on the game board all have like grouped by colours. The ones here for green, this is for Edgeville. So I'm going to draw one of the Edgeville exploration cards. And then look at where I am, which is Ice Mountain. So I'll read the Ice Mountain part out, which is an ice fiend charges towards you. Stand your ground or scare it off with magic. So I have a choice of what two different skill tests I want to take to fend off this ice fiend. So I can either take a melee test or a magic test. I don't think I'm either better at either one of those. So I'm just going to take the one that's magic because it's slightly easier to roll. Okay. So because I'm less than the complexity, I have now skill level 1 and I need skill level 3. I only get to roll 1 die. But I need to roll a 4 or higher on it to pass the test. Okay. Which I succeed.
Nailed it.
That'll do. Okay, so because I passed, I've gained a coin. So I'll take one of these coin resources and put it over in my stash. And I've passed the test. If I'd failed, I'd have suffered a wound. And if you suffer 3 wounds, your character dies and you're going to have a meeting with death. Okay. See what happens there. But that's it in terms of the exploration. So I've explored there. In terms of what else I can do in the region is because there's a skilling icon for cooking. I can also discard some resources to level up my skilling, gain some experience. Okay. So I'm going to discard this metal that I have to start off with, put it back in the stash, and then I'm going to gain an experience point in cooking because that's the icon of where I am.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, because my character actually happened to start off with some experience in cooking already, that one experience I've just gained levels me up. So when you're leveling up a skill, you need to gain 3 experience points in that skill to gain a level. That was for me the 3rd point, so I'll take those away, add an extra skill level to my cooking. So I'm now cooking level 2. Marvellous. Which makes my cooking skill test a little bit easier. So if anybody's got any questions about how the game works as we're going around, then those are totally fine to ask.
But because you took a skill check, don't you actually gain an XP?
That's true, yeah. So even though I've taken my experience tokens away and gained a skill level, because I also took a skill test, I gain an experience point for doing that as well. And you gain that experience whether you pass or fail the test, because you're going to gain some experience as you
and is it only in the skill that is shown on the banner?
It's for the the experience I gained there would have been for the skill test I took for the exploration card. Yeah. Because it would have been a magic experience point, not cooking. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of what the other players are going to be doing now, remember it's a cooperative game, we're all working together and we need to be completing these objectives. So yeah, so even though I haven't done anything to help us so far yet, so I've just been very selfish and gained some experience on my own. But what'll be really handy is if we find someone who's going to be able to go and speak to Morgan, who is in Draenor Village. Handily, ModSpear is actually 1 step away, so when we come around to you, we'll probably know what you're going to be doing with your turn.
I suspect so.
Yeah.
Going over here,
Yeah, going opposite direction. Yeah,
I mean, I've got to do Cook's assistant, right? I'm in Lumbridge. That's the rule.
That's the rule. But for the time being, that's the end of my turn. We're going to move over to Gaz now.
Okay. Right. Could I move from? I can't reach. Could I have a helper, please? Yeah, Thank you. Yeah, from Yorick to the Grand Exchange, please. Yep.
Okay, so because you've moved within the VARROCK area, we're going to pull. Can we pull a yellow VARROCK exploration card? Just pass it over here, please. And you're going to read the section for the Grand Exchange.
There isn't one.
Okay, so some exploration cards they're not divided into 3 sections. It's just this happens regardless of when you pull it. So if you want to read out what's happened to you there.
Okay. So a street gang blocks the way. They might move on by themselves if you give it time. Alternatively, you can take matters into your own hands. So to chase off the gangs, I have to pass one of these skill tests.
Correct, yeah. So you can choose any one of these skill tests. You can take a magic, ranged, or melee skill test.
You know what? I'm going to go hard or go home, so I'm going to try ranged attack. It's still like I'm still only rolling 1 dice.
You are, yeah, because this is complexity 9, so that's quite high. You haven't got the skills yet. But if you roll a 6 or higher on that die, then you've passed.
No, easy. Nope.
No, not this time. So on this occasion, you have suffered a wound, and you've advanced the timer track. Okay, so
have I just ruined it for everybody now?
No, you haven't. This is all fine. So on the side of the game board here, we have the escalation track. So when certain things happen like this, where it tells you to advance the timer, then it'll push the token up by 1.
What does that mean?
So what this happens is when this gets to the top, we're going to be flipping over campaign cards, which is going to be basically increasing the danger level of what's going on the game board at the time. So certain things will happen, like more dangerous exploration cards will get shuffled in, like some danger tokens will start appearing on the game board, which makes skill tests more difficult.
Right.
And I'm glad you've interacted with that now, because remember that as we start the game off, we actually have a campaign card that flips over just to set the scene a bit better for the Vampire Slayer campaign. So would you mind reading that one out for us, Modspear?
Absolutely. In the crypt beneath Draenor Manor, Count Draenor awakens to sate his thirst for blood. Place danger tokens in Draenor Village and Draenor Manor. Collect Vault card 38 and shuffle it into the Lumbridge exploration deck. Then collect Vault card 23 and place it on top.
So 30 was that 38 and 23?
Yep. So whatever 23 is, I assume, is going to happen to me when I move in Lumbridge.
Yes, indeed.
Next turn. Thanks, guys.
And there was 23 on top, was it? Sorry.
Yep, 23 on top. So
Brilliant.
I think the idea is that the campaign's going to gradually get more dangerous, so we can't just level up to max and then go and deal with it like I would.
That's exactly it, yeah. So if we spend too much time...
Years of practice wasted.
Exactly, yeah. But things are going to get more and more dangerous if we leave the campaign too long. So this is going to get shuffled into the Lumbridge deck, if you wouldn't mind shuffling that in there.
I think.
Could you put it in the middle somewhere, and then this card's going to go on top. On that, we could look at these if we want to, but where's the fun in that?
Oh, no,
we'll just discover what happens.
Blindside me in a minute.
Exactly.
Much more fun.
We'll just discover what happens in a minute when we interact with that. So these danger tokens have come out. We'll see what happens when we get to those later on, but they basically make your skill test a bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. So after all that, we'll come back to what was your turn.
Yes.
And you can put that to the bottom of the deck because you've explored VARROCK.
Could you do that?
You still gain your experience point even though you failed the test.
Yep, thank you. And I can choose to put that
You took it in ranged.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's good. That's where I wanted it to go anyway.
Also at the Grand Exchange, there's a little symbol for flour, so you can have a flour token.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. So if you need that for any like cooking ingredients, etc., or creating weapons, well, not creating weapons of flour, but if you're creating a pie or etc., then you can use that later on.
I do like pies.
Flour is quite explosive.
Is it?
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's true.
That's fair. You learn something new every day. Okay, so then we move on to Mod Lenny's turn.
So Draenor looks pretty scary at the minute, so I think I'll move to Port Sarim instead and just steer clear.
Sure. So you've taken a FALADOR card, that's it, and you want to read the Port Sarim entry if there is one.
So it says, Port Sarim, Clarence the Sailor offers a reward for the return of his missing hat. Can I retrace his footsteps? It's got a check for thieving.
Yep. So what's the first number on the thieving test?
First number is 4 and the second is 7.
So yeah, you're only going to have one die at that because your skill's not high.
I need to roll a 7 or higher.
That's it, yeah.
3, no go.
Okay. And
No,
then,
7 or higher.
That's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
so there's no failure state for that, so you're going to be okay. You haven't taken any damage for it, but you do gain the experience point just for taking the test as well. Okay. Then that's going to go to the bottom of the FALADOR deck. And then in Port Sarim, you can also pick up some fruit if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'll take some fruit.
There you go. Fruit token for you.
Between us, we could bake a fruitcake.
Oh, tempting. Tempting.
I'm glad you brought that up. So you can actually share resources and equipment and ingredients with each other as well. Like if you're on the same region, then you can trade anything between you freely. Sometimes it's a good idea because someone else might have some resources. I need to upgrade my weapon or something like that.
Cool.
So it's free trading. Also, when you're in a capital, you can drop any of the resources you've got into a clan bank, which means anybody at any capital can go and then take that resource out.
Got you. Okay, cool.
And that's either if we're passing ships in the night or if we use the clan bag?
Yeah, so that's in any of the capitals. These are the big banners on the game board. Okay, so that would be the end of Mod Lenny's turn. We come around to Mod Spear. What would you like to do of the variety of options you have ahead of you?
I think I'm going to have to jump headlong into it, aren't I? So I've already got level 2 melee, so hopefully I'm at least a little bit tougher than
Don't be a coward.
default. So yeah, let's bring it. Bring it right on.
Okay, so we've moved into here. So remember, we have the option of either we can explore the region or interact with the quest.
Well, I'll interact with the quest.
Absolutely. So we'll have a look up here. We're going to speak to Morgan. It's the first one we've got. People of Draenor Village live in constant terror. Their numbers are dwindling, and all due to the foul creature lurking in the manor to the north, known as the vampire. One villager, Morgan, seeks aid. An adventurer in Draenor Village with defense level 1 or more can perform the following action. Speak to Morgan by collecting Vault Card 1. Okay. So if you want to collect Vault Card 1 there, if you could read that out for us, please.
Excellent. Okay. Please help us, bold adventurer. Our little village has been dreadfully ravaged by an evil vampire. He lives in the basement of the manor to the north. We need someone to get rid of him once and for all. I have a friend who is a retired vampire hunter. His name is Dr. Harlow. He may be able to give you some tips. He can normally be found in the Blue Moon Inn in VARROCK. Okay. So now...
That could just be discarded, it goes anywhere else. So, there's some rewards, I think, at the bottom for having done it, yeah.
3 coins and 1 defense XP.
There you go. So you can have experience in defense, and you got 3 coins being the person to go and complete that.
All I've done is lose health.
Yeah, and you should have been better at what you did.
I mean, that's true. I should have been better at dice rolling.
So we've completed Speak to Morgan. That's done now. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, as we've said on the vault code, we need to go and speak to Dr. Harlow. So we need to get one of us to Thieving 2. I think all of us have started at Thieving 1.
Yeah.
So we need to get somebody leveled up to Thieving 2 and then get them to VARROCK so they can speak to Dr. Harlow.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that was the end of your turn, wasn't it?
So, I think so, yeah.
Okay, coming back to me. I have level 1 in thieving and no experience for it. Am I anywhere near I can level up some thieving? I am actually, so I can go to Edgeville and do that. Okay, so we've talked about how moving on to a like a province region works. This is smaller banners. When you move on to a capital, the first thing that happens there is the escalation track goes up by 1. So you have to be a bit careful with going on to those.
Oh no, that's where I was just about to go.
You can also gain resources like you normally do. So I'll gain some metal. So I'll gain my metal token back. Okay, and then instead of paying resources to level skills like I did earlier, you can pay coins to level resources, to level skills up, sorry, because you're kind of in a place where there's generally a bit more options for leveling skilling. There's like some foundries for forges, etc., that kind of thing. So I can pay a gold to level up my range skill, a gold to level up my defense skill, and or a gold to level up, 2 gold to level up thieving. So we need thieving, so I'm going to pay 2 gold for an experience point in that. Okay, and I'm naturally not bad at defense anyway, so I'm going to pay 1 more gold to have an experience point in defense.
Cool. So you can
do any combination of those that are there. So I've got 3 experience points in defense. Take those away and get my level. So I've got to level 2 in defense. Okay, and that's it for me. That's my turn done.
Okay. Oh well, I'm just in a rock and a hard place now. Let me see. I'll move over. Can I also go into?
You can go to the same space. Yep.
Oh, hi, fellow adventurer.
Escalation track again. Thanks, Gaz.
You're welcome. I'm just making this game so much better. Okay, so and my options are, so I get some metal.
Yes, indeed.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And then, is there anything that I need to interact with? Or?
So you can choose to spend no gold if you want to, but you can spend some gold to level up like 1 point in defense, 1 point of experience in ranged, or a point in thieving.
Okay, do you know what? I'm going to use 2 gold because I've already got 1 experience in thieving.
I should have spoke to you about that earlier.
Nah, it's okay. We're still friends. And then I'm going to do that. And then that's my turn.
Okay. So in terms of other things, if you're not sure to do with your turn, then obviously we've got this campaign board to tell us that we need to be getting people level up in thieving. We've got some people doing that already. The other things you can get on with is there are some side quests you can pick up, which can also give you experience points and resources. And also you've got a piece of starting equipment. You could be moving around the game board to be getting resources to level up that. So there's plenty of distractions to take away from the campaign board, but we shouldn't leave it too long because of the escalation track.
Before you end your turn, could you bank one of those pieces of metal for me, please?
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
I mean, you did make the world more dangerous. It's only fair. I need armour.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I think I've got a plan.
So we'll just leave the clan bank in front of us here, so it's nice and central. Okay. Cool. All right, so we're moving on to Mod Lenny's turn.
So what are these side quests that we've got going on?
Okay, so we have the ones we've got available right now is we have Witch's Potion, which you can pick up from anywhere. You have Goblin Diplomacy, but you have to be in Goblin Village to pick that one up. We've got Bandit Hunting, but you can only pick it up in Lumbridge, and there's Gertrude's Cap, you have to be in VARROCK for that. So you could go to any of those places, or you could just pick up Witch's Potion from where you are.
Let's pick up Witch's Potion, I suppose.
Okay, and I think it takes place in Port Sarim, which is where you are already, so have a read of what's going on with that side quest.
So, an eccentric witch needs testers from their latest concoction. Who are you to say no to a free drink? Good question. Indeed. If this adventurer is in Port Sarim, they can perform the following action. Sample the Witch's Potion, which has 2 for the first number in a defense check and 5 for what you need to roll.
Yep.
I've only got 1 defense, so I suppose I roll a skilling check with 1 dice.
Sure, did you need any resources for that? Sorry, it was just the skill test, was it? As it was?
No resources?
Okay. Sure.
That is a 1. That is not a 5.
No, it's not. So you gain experience point in that. I don't think, was there anything for failing the test?
There was. So I've accidentally been turned into a squirrel. Looks like I'll need to try again once I've turned back into a human. Advance the escalation track +1.
Oh dear.
no.
Oh no.
Right, okay.
So you can keep that side quest anywhere near your character sheet for the time being, and you can repeat that test until you pass it, or you can carry on doing some other stuff as well. So back off to Mud Spear.
Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to get that. If I get that iron from the clan bank, I've got the resources then to upgrade my sword, which seems like a good idea.
So you need to move to a capital. To get to the
But what I'm
clan.
thinking is, rather than going to Lumbridge, would it be worth me going to FALADOR, and then I can spend some of my now reasonable number of coins getting crafting XP for the later steps in the quest?
I'm glad you mentioned that. So to do that, we can do that in one or two ways. You can move through Draenor Manor to get there, take you 2 turns. Because you've got lots of gold, however, you can instead just spend some gold to teleport to FALADOR. This has been 1 gold, and you can do a teleport to FALADOR like that, which means you've just effectively moved there. It's a way of getting across the board a little bit quicker.
That might be a good idea. So what's the resource that's on here?
So you'd be moving to FALADOR, aren't you? So
I was just going to see if it's worth stopping there along the way.
Oh, sorry,
it's
it's
herbs,
herbs, yeah.
No, I think I will go straight to FALADOR in that case.
Gotcha.
So I can take the iron from the clan bank.
Yes, indeed.
And then
welcome.
this is difficulty 2. So if I pay 1 gold first to train up my crafting, to get crafting to 2, and then I can do the skill challenge on here and try and get my...
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Okay,
Yep.
so if you pay, what was it, 1? Was it 1 gold? Yep.
Yep.
So you've now got...
that away, and then that levels crafting up to 2.
It does.
Ooh, something like that. And then I need to spend 2 iron, a stone, and hide, it looks like, to try and upgrade my bronze longsword, so I get to roll 2 dice because I have the right skill level now.
Correct.
And I've only got to roll a 6 or higher.
That's it.
And if I get this wrong, I will be mad. Oh, 8, okay. We're safe.
So it's either one of the 2 dice.
It's not
to get to,
added together.
Sadly, it was a fail, unfortunately. But so we gained an experience point another experience point in crafting. You have to discard one of these resources because we've tested the skill test.
Get rid of the iron I borrowed then, I guess. Wasted after all.
It's okay.
It's all right, we've got more. Okay, but you can try that again. You can try that again next turn, no problem. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
So we can also, because you've moved into FALADOR, you can pick up some thread. So that might be useful.
Yeah,
later on.
absolutely. So does anyone need thread for their upgrades?
Yes, me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll pay you back and put that in the clan bank, and you can have it.
Nicely done. Okay, all right. So then we can move on to my turn, I think, can't we? Okay, what do I want to do? So I'm quite good at crafting. I think I need to...
If it helps, I was going to go over here so I can
You're gonna go
get
that way?
thieving. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to go and take on a side quest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay my last gold to go to VARROCK, which allows me to pick up a leather. Also advances the escalation track.
Jamie.
It's okay, we're fine, we'll be fine. And then what I can do when I've got that is I can pick up the Gertrude's Cat side quest, because I have to be in VARROCK to pick that one up. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do with my turn. So back to Gaz.
Okay, so I'm going to go over here to Black Knight's Fortress.
So we could draw out an Edgeville exploration card.
There's nothing on there.
Okay, so sometimes you get one that says draw a random event.
Okay.
So the event deck is effectively this is now we're at a point where this stuff is themed to what generally happens in Edgeville. The event deck is,
Anything.
it could be the Sandwich Lady, could be the Evil Chicken,
Awesome.
anything can come out of it. So we'll see what was drawn from the event deck. So you want to have a read of that, please?
Certainly can. So, Drunken Dwarf. A dwarf wielding a half-drunk beer aggressively shouts unintelligible nonsense at you before lobbing a large stone in your direction. Sounds like a night out at home, actually. Right, so I've got to take a defense test.
Yep.
So I'm rolling with 1 dice.
You need to get
I've got to get an 8?
He's throwing
This only goes up to 10.
throwing that stone really hard.
Hey,
strong
dwarf's
dwarf.
Wow. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter because I aced it.
You did.
Right, so what happens now?
So yeah, if you read the success.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I should probably have done that. The dwarf hands you a half-eaten kebab. Yes, it is like being back out at home. As an apology, gain 1 cooked meal.
Okay, so this is cooked food. So this is how our players can regenerate health on the game board before we go into boss fights. So you can have
Awesome.
that. Luckily, you could spend that later on because you've taken some damage already.
Yeah, right, I'll put that up there just so I remember. Sure. Thank you
Okay,
very
you also
much.
took a defense test, so you can take an experience point in defense as well.
Awesome.
And then this goes back into the event deck.
And then can I spend one of these to get 1 up in thieving? Is that
So you
right?
went to VARROCK, didn't you?
No, I'm over here.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're in Black Knight's Fortress. Yes, you can spend a resource to...
Awesome.
You
So
can do that
I'm
up to 3 times, but it have to be different resources. If you
Okay.
want to.
Well, I'm going to do that so then I'm level 2 in thieving.
Okay. Brilliant. So we've got to our level 2 in thieving. We just need to get you to VARROCK to speak to Dr. Harlow, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, so we come back to Mod Lenny's turn.
So let's see what skills I can train here.
So you can collect fruit there. That's our skilling place.
I don't think I like my chance of the potion at the minute, so I'll move over to Remington
Sure.
and explore around here.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So Remington seems to be a random event.
Okay. Another event. So what have you drawn?
I have drawn hands. So Duke Horatio's servant wishes to tell you how long you spent adventuring. Could be useful information. I may listen to hands by advancing the escalation track +2. If I do, gain 1 XP and a skill of my choice, and then collect Vault card 34 and remove this card from the game.
So you got a big red button. Do you want to press it?
So what happens once the escalation track reaches the top?
So we've drawn our first campaign card, which shuffled in some extra bad cards into the exploration deck. If this goes to the top, it's going to reset again, and we'll draw another campaign card, and more stuff's going to happen. So we could just have a see at what happens, or we could not listen to hands.
Oh, I don't know. Let's listen to Hans.
You want to listen to hands?
Yeah,
think
he's
we should listen to
got
Hans.
some interesting things to say, probably.
You think we should listen to hands?
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, let's listen to hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I gain 1 XP and a skill of my choice.
Yep.
I might as well go for thieving as well, level it up while I
So, yeah, you could pay to ping over to VARROCK from one of us.
Yes, we've got a couple of options now on who
Yeah.
can speak to
level up my thieving
Harlow.
and collect Vault card 34.
Okay.
Remove from the game.
Does that remove this card from the game? Probably.
I'll remove this card from the game,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine. So just put it off to the side somewhere. Okay, so you have found through talking to hands. You have found. He's giving you.
I found a dragon pickaxe.
Awesome.
Can add a dice to crafting skill tests and add +2 to the result of the dice.
Yeah. So when you're taking skill tests for crafting now, you get to roll an extra die, and it'll just on this die it'll actually add 2 to the roll as well. So that's a particularly rare weapon you found just from speaking to hands. So sometimes these things are worth doing. However, we now have to pay the consequences of speaking to hands, which was it took a reasonable amount of time. So we got 1 step to the top. And then back to the bottom again, and we've got to draw the next campaign card. So seeing as you're the one that triggered it, I'll let you read what happens next.
All right, Bloodlust. Screams can be heard far beyond the borders of Draenor Village as the bloodthirsty Count Draenor extends his rampage. Place danger tokens in the Wizard's Tower, Farmland, and the Barbarian Village.
Barbarian Village and the Farmland, was that?
Yes.
Okay.
Collect Vault card 39 and shuffle it into the FALADOR exploration deck, then collect Vault card 24 and place it on top.
Okay, so into FALADOR. Do you want to pause for a second? I think there's a little bit after that.
There is, yeah.
So that's going to get shuffled in.
Shuffle. Yeah.
Yeah, just
You're done
on the
now,
bottom. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. There we go.
Place that on the top. And what's the next part of it?
The next part is to collect Vault card 40 and shuffle it into the VARROCK exploration deck, then collect Vault card 25 and place it on top.
Okay, so that gets shuffled into the VARROCK deck.
Could you pass me the VARROCK
Yes.
deck, please? Thank you. Oh no.
A lot going on now.
Yeah. Yeah. So this represents Count Draenor kind of getting bored of just terrorising the villages of Draenor Village, and now is sort of spreading a bit farther and wider.
I hope that dragon pickaxe was worth it.
Yeah.
I reckon it probably is.
Hopefully.
So do I hand
Let's assume yes. So yeah, that's just going to sit on top now until the next one gets drawn.
All
this on the bottom of the pile?
Is that yes? Yeah, that
Fandor.
go on the bottom. Yeah.
all else fails, you had a nice story out of it.
Yeah, Hans gave me a good little bit of information.
There you go.
Still not quite sure how long I've been adventuring for, but
Okay, so you can also pick up a vegetable as well, which is a little cabbage symbol. So you can pick up that resource from having been there, from exploring into Remington. Okay, so back to Mod
Okay, I'm actually not sure what to do this turn. I'm still short on metal, so I can't try and upgrade my gear again. But in the meantime, what should I go for? Meat to get to food, maybe move towards defense, and train, do a
So
bit of
you
defense training.
were certainly on the right path earlier. So these are all the skills we'll need eventually
Yeah.
further down the campaign. So leveling up any of those is useful as well. So nearby, you've got some training, I think, for. You've got some,
crafting
it's
down the
mostly
corner.
it's mostly just picking up resources, I think, from where you are. Unless you want to spend more gold to travel around to another capital, that's also an option. Because you could, if you teleported to Edville.
Yeah, I could get the metal myself, couldn't I? That might be the option, and then I can branch out from there.
Or have you got the level 2 in thieving?
No, I don't.
Nice,
Okay,
me.
sure, it's you. Yeah, you're the thief.
I'm the thief.
Yeah, and Lenny's close all got it as well.
Yeah.
There's some nice glasses here as well, so count them. And
Okay, yeah, let's go for Edgeville.
Okay.
I'm going to be loot hungry. Let's go.
So spend a coin and go to Edgeville.
Yep.
So if you're exploring Edgeville,
Yep, I can collect.
you can collect the metal.
Yep, and I'll try the skill test again.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, you can't. I can't train crafting there, can I? No. So all right.
No.
Right, same dice again. Let's go for better this time. Come on.
We're
No
just getting
better.
unlucky today, aren't we?
no better
Yeah,
than last
yeah.
time. Not
No,
worse.
I know.
No, there's, yeah.
I
So
mean,
another,
3 times 2 makes 6.
That's true. That's true.
That is true.
So you get an experience point in that. So we're going to eventually get you to a point where you're on 3
Oh, yeah,
dice.
absolutely.
That'll probably help. Okay, and then
discard that for failing.
yes, indeed. And do you want to spend any gold for training any of those skills in Edgeville? You got ranged, defense, or thieving.
Yeah, I'll put the extra 2 in defense. Actually, that seems like a good plan.
So you can
So
just 1
those.
gold for that. It's actually pretty cheap for that in Edgeville.
Well, I can say if I can do twice, can't I?
It's once per skill.
Oh, got you. Okay, right. Well, I'll definitely do the 1 then.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, right. So back around to me then. I think I want to go and have a look at the dig site and level up some gathering, because I don't think we've got many other people that are leveling gathering.
No,
yet,
no,
have we?
no.
So I'm explore Varrock. Can I have a Varrock exploration card, please?
You may.
Okay, so this is just the same effect of regardless of what region you're in. It says Count Draenor stock. Oh, this is the one that got placed on top from before. This is your fault. So Count Draenor stalks the night. This is not the time for a confrontation. Use your surroundings to mislead the vampire. So I need to try and evade Count Draenor by passing a gathering skill test. Luckily, that's what I wanted to actually train. So it needs level 3. I don't have that, so I'm going to roll in 1 die. I need to roll a 7 or higher. Okay. So not super likely. No, that's not what I needed. So I'm going to take 2 wounds because Count Draenor hits quite hard, and then I also advance the escalation track by 1. But I got an experience point in gathering.
Well, that's all that matters.
It is, and I'm also going to spend some resources for that as well. So I'm going to spend some metal. No, I'm not going to spend metal. We need that. We'll spend some leather and some thread to get 2 more experience and level up my gathering.
Well, those are both the materials you need, aren't they?
Say again, sorry?
Those are both the materials you need for your armour, aren't they?
It is, but I'm going to play it risky and try and get those later on.
I mean, you're only 2 wounds down already, so...
That's true. Oh, yeah. No, it'll be totally fine. He says
Probably be
as
fine.
he's talking to Death later on.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Right, so is it me?
It is, yes.
I'm going to pay a gold
Yep.
to go to VARROCK.
Okay.
Just about reach it. There we
Escalation
go.
track comes up. Would you like to explore or interact with the quest?
I am going to interact with the quest.
Would you mind having a read of that? I can.
If I can, let me put my peepers on. So Dr. Harlow is willing to help you in your quest, but first his lips must be wetted by beer newly brewed. An adventure in VARROCK with thievery. Thank you. Thievery 2 or more can perform this following action. Get your hands on a newly brewed beer, then speak to Dr. Harlow by collecting Vault Card 2.
Would you please read Vault Card 2?
Thank you. Yes. Vampires. I was very good at killing them once. You're going to need a stake, otherwise they'll just regenerate. Not just any piece of wood will do. Get a branch from the ancient evergreen at the foot of the White Wolf Mountain, although it's less cooperative than it used to be. You'll need a hammer as well to drive it in properly. Your everyday hammer won't do. You'll need to craft something specific. There's a rumour of a master craftsman living in south of Port Sarim. One last thing. It's wise to carry garlic with you. Vampires are somewhat weakened if they can smell garlic. The more the better. And if we complete that, again, 3 coins and 1 thief XP.
Okay, yep. So you got your 3 coins.
Awesome, I really needed that.
Yep. Because you're a bit poor after all that time. Yep, and you got an experience in thieving.
Awesome.
Okay, so that means we've completed the second part of our campaign quest. So for now, we need to do what Dr. Harlow suggested. We need to get the Wreath of Garlic, we need to get the stake, and we need to get the stake hammer. That's going to bring us to the end of our first part of our play session, though. We're going to come back a little bit later on to do the rest of it.